Okay. I guess we'll start with the basics. I guess your full name,
Richard Franklin Williams,
Richard Franklin Williams. Okay. And you were born
April 7th, 1931.
April 7th, 1931.
Uh,
Okay. And I guess the next thought thing we where were you living at
Holly
during this time
Spring,
period? Holly Springs,
Holly Spring,
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
I'm going to take a few notes because I have to, of
That's all
course, put
right.
the report together. And how did your family come to live in this area when
Born there.
you were born there?
No, well, yeah, I was born there, but
Mm-hmm.
my family was born there too.
Okay. What's their background? Where did they?
Wow. Well, it goes back before the Civil War. My granddaddy, daddy's daddy, was in the Civil War, fought in several battles, and when he got out, he came to Smead, Arkansas, which was 7 miles from Holly Springs. And he bought a lot of land. I don't know how much.
Was he part of the North or Southern?
Confederate.
Confederate, so Southern. Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
So they settled there after the Civil War,
yeah.
purchased a pretty good amount of land.
And he put in a sawmill, grist mill, cotton gin, water power on the creek, all run with one big wheel.
All three of them?
Now,
Oh, that's
wheel was 16 feet in diameter. How much water it caught, I don't know.
a pretty
It
good
was
bit, I
gone when
imagine.
I was a kid. We used to swim in the old wheel hole. Of course, he was a long time dead.
And this was your great grandfather?
My granddad.
Your granddad? Okay. Okay.
Uh, 2 generations between me and the Civil War.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, whatever.
Uh, I guess kind of your family makeup. Your dad obviously uh, worked in the mills.
Yeah.
What else? What other type of your family? How many siblings?
Okay.
Know a little bit of this story, but
And daddy's siblings, he had 16.
so he had 16 brothers and sisters.
16 brothers and sisters. And I don't remember how many, you know, girls or boys. He, of course, he had sawmills during the Depression. Well, when the Depression hit, he had 3 big ones. And he lost the last one in 1937, Ogama, Arkansas. Then we moved back to the old home place. And he put together a steam-powered cross-tie mill. Cut cross ties. We had a truck. And then in the summertime, the farmers would cut logs and bring in a wagon load on Saturdays. You know, and we cut them up the next week. And my job on Saturday was to keep the logs moved up on the skids towards the saw. There were 3 skids and a little cart that run on rails between them. They had to put them on things, and I'd roll up there and carry them up and put them on the skid to the saw, or, you know, kept moving them up.
So this was all after the Great Depression.
Yeah,
Of course, the cause that he lost his three sawmills was the Great Depression itself, the economy.
this was about 38.
So this was just after.
Yeah.
So this
Well,
was the effects, obviously, on your family.
depression was still on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the depression didn't break till, well, 1942, World War II. Of course, they had plenty of work then, and everybody went to work. Women too. And he died in 44, April 7th, 1944.
So your specific, your immediate family, how was how was it made up? I mean, you obviously had brothers and sisters. And,
Me?
yes, sir.
Yeah, I've got two sisters.
Two sisters. Okay. How did the depression kind of impact them? Obviously, you lost your
Them?
dad's major source of work.
Well, of course, they were too young.
And just your family in general, not just you and your siblings. I mean, how did it really change things for you?
I'm not sure what you want there, John.
Uh, you had obviously your family was fairly well off before that. They had 3 meals, and you obviously had a way of life you're used to. And when the depression hit, you lost those 3 meals. Obviously, things changed a little bit for you.
Yeah, it changed.
Well, how did that change? Kind of what happened? How did things change?
Well, of course, it transpired slowly, but it didn't make all that much difference. We never missed a meal. Never wanted for anything.
Yes, sir.
Barbara said Daddy gave everything away. Well, he did, but boy, people were a lot worse off than we were. So, like I told you, we worked the sawmill.
How old were you when you were working the sawmill?
What, 8?
8. Okay.
I set blocks at the sawmill.
Yes, sir.
Kept the sawdust scooped off, had a little blind pony. Helped fire the boiler some by road to carriage. During the summer, when I was off 5 days a week, it's like like a hired hand.
Yes, sir.
Then
So
you paid.
did
They
you pay?
said you're eating.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all you got.
So would you say maybe your family contributed a lot to your survival? And y'all were able to keep things moving because you helped to work and everybody did their part.
Okay, how you mean?
No, obviously a lot of families were suffering at this time. Do you think that maybe one thing that let your family continue on in a pretty decent way was the fact that you all contributed to the home?
That's all. Everybody worked. Of course, Mom worked at the house.
Mm-hmm.
Took care of 2 little girls.
So, I mean, during that time period, you were working. Was school ever any part of that day, or
School?
yes, sir.
Yeah, of course, I went to school.
What was that like?
2-room schoolhouse. 8 grades. 3 years, me and another boy was the whole grade. I don't know how many there was, maybe 30 kids.
And this was in Holly Springs, Arkansas.
Yeah.
So obviously, it was quite a bit different than it is now.
Holly Springs? No.
That and hadn't changed that much, huh?
Changed hardly all.
The school systems, though, are obviously were a little bit different.
Old schoolhouses there, but the kids go to Spartan school. Some of them went there. Well, the high school kids went to Spartan.
So this
One
was
there.
Holly Springs was more or less the grade school.
Yeah, it was then.
Okay.
Through the 8th grade.
Through that grade. So was that was that the end? Was that all the education you got was up to the 8th grade, or did you continue on?
I went on to school. We moved to Talco in 44. I think Daddy died in 44. He did. We moved there in 44. I went to Talco High School.
So just after the depression sort of let up, y'all moved to Texas.
Yeah.
What prompted that move?
There was another thing to do out there. Daddy got too old to work.
Mm-hmm.
So we moved to Talco so Mom and Margie could go to work in the school cafeteria.
Oh, okay. What were the working conditions like? I mean, you were telling me a little bit about your work day and just
When?
Just how long did you work a day?
When I was
you was at the sawmill, yeah.
There? We worked till 5 o'clock, I guess.
So what, 8 hour day, 10 hour day, 8 hour day?
Yeah, it was 8 hour day anyway.
5 days a week, six, five?
Yeah.
Okay. So
This is work.
yes, sir. This is pretty normal to regular 40 hour work.
The normal day, Daddy went after the hand about 7 o'clock. It was 7 miles to the furthest one. He got back around 8. And of course, then I was ready to go to work. We all went to work. And the crew was an old guy called Butch Thompson. And there was a black man, we called him Scrap. And my uncle, Uncle Vernon. Me and Daddy. That was it.
So pretty small business.
Yeah. Done good. You made $20 a month.
Yes, sir. Now you were saying that you attended school regularly, and your family did fairly well. How did the kids around you at school do? Were they fair as good?
Same.
About the same?
Yeah. Of course, the kids that lived out in the country worked on farms. And when there was farming to do, it came first.
Mm-hmm.
And then the school.
So their attendance wasn't all that as regular as yours. So they
couldn't be. So they had to make a living.
Mm-hmm.
For school.
So how did they kind of react around, you that you could be there all the time and they had to go all the time?
No problem, I don't guess.
No problem. They really didn't have any differences.
I know we run that mill some while I was in school, but I didn't work, and I can't remember who took my place. Somebody did, but I don't know. I don't know who.
So how did you feel about everything that was going on at the time? What was your thoughts? I know you were pretty young, but
I didn't even think about it.
Didn't even think about it. Life went on as normal.
I can look back on it. It was a tough time, but we didn't know it.
How do you think that affected your character? How you handle things now? Just being able to look back at that time, understand what your family went through.
Well, let me tell you, I think you people today are stupid. And you're wasteful. Rick and them, can't believe what they waste. Back then, we didn't waste nothing, John.
I understand.
Yeah.
Believe me, I look around and see it too.
Waste anything. Kill a squirrel, you ate it. Kill a possum, you ate it. But you didn't waste nothing. You killed hogs, you used every bit of it. But we lived good. But we killed hogs in the fall. Had cows, chicken, milk, butter, eggs, pork, raised garden. Mom put up 400 or 500 quarts out of the garden every year. So there wasn't any problem about food.
You kind of raised your own.
Yeah, and then the government had a program. We went to Fordyce once a month and bought groceries, and we carried a trailer, but we picked up food for several families, So and then it just divided it out. But the government program then was, you had $20, you could buy stamps or whatever. Twice that, you get $40. And you could eat well on $40 a month. I guarantee you. Man, Mom bought cereal by the cases, whole slabs of bacon, flour 50 pounds. I don't know what all. Because we just went once a month. But it was It was a poor life, but it was a good life. It was lots of fun. I fished, possum hunted, and squirrel hunt.
So that's all the kind of things you did for, in your off times. You squirrel hunt and fish. And,
Yeah, it didn't change.
no.
Except squirrel hunting went because we don't have any place to hunt, but the fishing had changed.
What'd you hunt squirrels with?
Hunt squirrels with no shotgun.
Shotgun?
Yeah, but I didn't. Of course, I did look for that. I didn't start hunting until I was 13. Moved to Texas. We lived out on a prairie west of Talco. And I'd get off the school bus and grab that old shotgun and head for Supper River bottom. And usually by dark, I'd have one or two squirrels back to the house. That's supper. Something y'all never think of now. But there was a neighbor lived on the hill up there, but between our house and his house was a big old bushy top tree. I don't know what kind. But that thing, one day the blackbird just covered it. I grabbed that shotgun and went eased out there and shot into him. I must have killed 30 birds. And boy, we ate blackbird like crazy.
So definitely not wasteful.
No.
A lot of things have changed in the name of progress. Do you feel like today we're better off?
Not really.
I don't tend to disagree.
Not really. Wages hadn't changed.
Not really.
No. For example, when I went to work for Safeway, $1 an hour. Gallon of gas was 19 cents. Pack cigarettes 19 cents.
And a gallon of milk.
Hamburger maybe 29 cents a pound. I can't think of many of them, but I worked in a grocery store. I knew the thing cost them, but I've forgotten them. The rent of an apartment is $30 a month. Rent a boat per day on Caddo Lake, 50 cents. Well, if you multiply that by about 20 times, you're still paying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now you make $15, $20 an hour. It's no more than $1 an hour was then. Same old thing. It just sort of goes up, but when wages goes up, prices
everything goes up to meet it.
There's nothing changed.
So with the Great Depression, not much really changed for your family. Just
No.
Everybody contributed. It got a little harder.
Just kept working.
When you say you look back and you realize what a trying time that was, what exactly do you remember? What do you see as you look back?
And it really wasn't so much, except there were just lots of things you couldn't do because you didn't have the money. But, you couldn't take trips or go anywhere. You just stayed at home. About once a year, we came to Mount Vernon. Mom's sister lived there. And I don't know, you get gas in Texarkana 11 cents a gallon. We had A model Ford. We'd come out there in the night because it was cooler. Stay a week, go back home. I don't know what they spent. We probably didn't spend $20.
These days you can't even go to Dallas overnight without spending a good $100.
No. Even when I went to work driving a truck in 1960, motel room was $3 a night. Ham and eggs, potatoes and biscuits, coffee, breakfast 75 cents.
So when during this time of the Great Depression, I mean, obviously you say your mom did pretty good as far as the groceries went. What was more or less the staple of what y'all were eating? What was the chow like?
What was what?
What was the chow like?
A cow?
Chow food.
Oh, chow. Not like now.
So
Yeah, well, still don't eat any beef now. It's too high. We didn't eat beef then. But somebody would kill a cow once in a while and bring some back. But mostly it was pork and chicken. Still pork and chicken. Because we had all kind of vegetables.
raised your own.
Huh?
Raised your own.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem. No electricity, no bills to pay. No electricity, no heat, no water.
Was that a big problem on the
No,
in
no
Arkansas?
problem.
No heat.
No problem.
No problem.
I didn't say no heat. I said no electricity. We had heat, wood stove,
Yeah.
and plenty of wood.
Pot bellied stove.
Yeah, all you had to do was cut it.
Yes, sir.
Water, just draw it out of the well, like 20 foot from the house.
Uh, how did how long after the depression, after you moved down to Texas, did you really feel like there was a time period before things got back into I don't know a stable economy? How things leveled out? How long did it really take your family to recover back?
Well, really, I think, of course, World War II was a rush. After that, it slowed down. And then about 52 or 3 something, it picked up, and it never did slow down except short periods of time. Like Eisenhower was president. Whenever that was, no, that was 60 something. Like I was driving a truck when he was president. Yeah.
So you were already driving a truck when World War II hit?
Oh, no.
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 How old were
World
you
War
when that
II
happened?
was 42, 45.
Okay, so you were only 10, 11 years old.
Yeah. 10, 11 years old.
Did your family have to go off to that?
Brother-in-law was on.
Brother-in-law. Did were there any other major occurrences in your town in Holly Springs when the Great Depression hit, or was it small town, not much happened?
Not that I know of. Just most of the young people had to go to the army. You know, young men. And women took the place. It was still farming and sawmills.
So would you say this was one of the more trying experiences of your life, or
For what?
one of the more one of the bigger struggles in your life, or what do you feel like was the biggest struggle?
I don't know. I guess maybe when we put in the parts house, but it wasn't no real struggle. Just tight, but we just worked and come on through it, you know. There was no real problem.
So when you hear people my age, talk about the Great Depression, what do you really
I
feel
don't
like?
know what you're talking about.
Don't have a clue, huh?
Don't have a clue.
If you could summarize it or tell somebody my age what your thoughts were, what would you tell them?
I don't know.
Just no way to convey it, huh?
No, there's no way. No way. To us kids, it was just as much fun as it would have been now. You know, I don't know about mom and them. They never did fuss much about it. Till daddy got sick. He got like they call it mastoid trouble. It's bone behind your ear.
Mm-hmm.
Got infected. He went to Little Rock, had it operated on. Took a while to get over that. And then a little while after that, he had a nervous breakdown in the hospital about 6 months. And when he come back, he was too sick to work. So we just moved out to Texas.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think I learned a little bit about what happened back then.